What's up, guys? Farmhouse here, and welcome to Big Rigs Over the Road Racing. Now, I know I've looked at this game once before, but that was before I had the ability to do screen capture and stuff like that. I had a really old PC laptop, and I was just kind of showing it off by filming the screen. But this time, we're going to do the game some justice and actually record it using Fraps. So that's what we're doing. Big Rigs has been pretty much voted by everybody as being the worst PC game ever made. And we're just going to talk about a few of the things that justify that title. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to read the back of the box. It says, climb up, grab onto the wheel, and get rolling. Get ready for some brake jamming, CB talking, convoy rolling action across America. From the desert to the plains, you'll be hauling loads and trying to stay one step ahead of the law as you climb into your big rig for non-stop driving action. Race across America and deliver your load to its destination before the competition. So keep the tank full and your pedal to the metal as you rack up points and own the road. Features 4 big rig trucks with trailers, which is not true because not all of them have trailers. 4 unique routes including desert, forest, plains, and cities. Whatever. Daytime and nighttime driving will challenge even the most experienced trucker. Damn right it will, and we'll get to that. Thousands of miles of highways and byways across America. Not so sure about that. 3 levels with variety of wicked challenges, including Ultimate Traffic Stopper, a police roadblock. That is not in the game at all. There are no cops in the game whatsoever. So let's fire up this Big Bad Nasty and have a look at Big Rigs Over the Road Racing. So this is it. No opening cinematic, no nothing. It takes you straight into the menu. There's no music. There's not even any sound effects in the menu. But we're just going to go to the options quick, and I'll show you what's available there. Everything is normally set to low. You have low or normal, so I'm not really sure. And these two are linked together, so it doesn't matter what. So we're going to keep those on high. I'm not even sure why you'd even have this option. Anyways, we're going to go to Custom Race, and here you can choose your truck. And as you can see here, only 2 of them have trailers. The other 2 are just regular trucks. So we're going to choose this one since it has a trailer. And you've got Devil Passage. You've got Devil Passage 2, Forgotten Road 1, and Night Ride, and Small Town Road. So there's no Forgotten Road 2, so it's been forgotten. So we're just going to choose this one, and loading. And again, there is no sound whatsoever at all in these menus. In fact, it gets even better than that. There's no sound in the Well, okay, here we go. I'm getting ahead of myself here. There's no countdown. It just says ready, and then you just go. And your opponent doesn't actually move. He just sort of sits there. It doesn't go at all. So here we are. We're driving. My brake lights appear to be inside of the trailer. If you look in the top left, there's something seriously going wrong with the timer. It's all outside the box and everything. Here you'll see I can clip through buildings. There is no hit detection in this game. You can drive through pretty much everything. A lot of the mountains and stuff like that, you can just basically either scale over or drive right through. And this is about as fast as you can go as well. You can see I've kind of maxed out my speed. And there's only 1 lap. And like I said, there's no hit detection. And you're not actually racing anybody because your opponent doesn't actually move. This was the vanilla release of the game, version 1.0. But there is a patch. First thing I'm going to show you before we do the patch is when you exit out to the main menu here, it says quit to Windows, quit to Windows. So you click that and it doesn't click to Windows, it takes you back to the menu. So we're going to patch up the game. We're going to get the latest release of this Big Bad Nasty. We're going to show you all the things. Obviously the developer heard a lot of complaints and said, hey, we want to fix our totally rocking game. So let's check it out with the patch. Alright, are you ready for some more intense Big Rigs Over the Road racing action? Look at this. All of the options reset, so you have to change them every time you start the game. The game has been patched. There's still no menu music. There's still no menu sound effects. But I noticed in the patch, it did patch in a sounds folder. And so hopefully, well, I say hopefully, but I know exactly what's going to happen. So let's just let the game fire up and I'll let you know exactly what they changed. So right off the bat, you'll notice, oh, my opponent is taking off. So your opponent actually drives his truck now, which is definitely a plus. The other thing you probably notice is there's now sound, or at least somewhat sound. The truck actually does make a noise. There are some random green numbers that now appear in the bottom left corner, and I'm not sure exactly what they do. Hit detection hasn't been changed. Basically, the only other thing that they fixed is, I believe, the game used to crash when you picked one of the races, and it doesn't do that anymore. But as you can see, you can still scale the mountain, and everything is pretty much the same. Now we're going to stop the game just for a moment, and we're just going to stare at a black screen, and I'm going to play you the sound effects that were included in the patch. Ready? Here we go. This is ambience. This is what's supposed to be playing in the background, but doesn't actually do it. It's just a terrible loop of some wind. Then, of course, you've got the car engine, or truck engine, but it's actually called car engine. No surprise there. It sounds terrible. This one coming up is called handbrake. Never heard that one in the game either. And finally, the one that's probably the funniest, because there's absolutely no hit detection in the game. There's an actual sound effects for a crash, which sounds horribly like an echoing gunfire. Anyways, let's get back to the game. So now that we've seen what this big, bad, nasty, big rig can do going forward... Hang on, look at this. My brake lights, my tail lights aren't even attached to the truck. And the wheels on the... whatever. The wheels on the other truck don't even move. But whatever. Let's slow this bad nasty down and throw it in reverse. It actually has reverse lights. I'm impressed. And here we go. This is pretty typical. I mean, any 18-wheeler can go this fast going backwards. And I've driven off the level. It's a fine-looking moon and a fine-looking sky. Alright, we should probably stop doing this now. Look how fast she stops. On a dime. Right, well, I seriously think I've tortured you with enough of this, so I think we can pretty much wrap it up here. But there is one other thing that you should know about this game, and is that no matter what, you cannot lose. You will never lose because your opponent will actually stop just before the finish line and never actually finish the race. You see here as I'm coming around the corner here, just hitting the last checkpoint. By the way, those green dots on the top left, those are your checkpoints. And you have to have a full bar of green. So at least I actually did that. I think that's the only part in the game that actually works properly. Except for maybe the timer. The timer works as well. But didn't the back of the box say you're supposed to rack up the points? What points? I don't see any points. Are those my points in the bottom left there? The random green numbers? Anyways, we're coming up to the finish here, and as you can see, my opponent has grinded to a halt. I'm just going to take my sweet time here, crossing the finish line, and bask in the glory, 'cause you're winner.